Hi all, Andrew Cherin here, and I'm excited to bring you all my first video blog post that I'm going to start a series on and hopefully update regularly, all about Seattle car accident injury law. And it's not going to be all bad stuff. It's going to be some cool, interesting stuff about traffic law, what happens if you're in an accident, whose fault it actually is, and some pretty cool Washington state law, insurance law, determining like what insurance coverage you actually have. And so it's not going to be all bad things or all things that people need when they're actually in a car accident, injured in a car accident, but it could be some things that could help you prevent car accidents and some interesting topics as well. Um, as you all know, I represent primarily people who are injured in car accidents. However, what you may not know is what I charge and what hiring a personal injury lawyer can do for you. And so today, in my first video blog, I want to kind of demystify some of the processes and you know misperceptions about personal injury lawyers in general. Most people think that hiring a lawyer is really scary, and how much is it going to cost me? Or we think of a lawyer, it's going to be like $300 an hour or more, and how can I really afford that? And I'm injured in this car accident, but I don't want to go after the defendant personally. So what do I do then? And so in today's episode, I want to kind of break down some of the misconceptions that you have and why hiring a personal injury lawyer for your car accident case is actually really beneficial. Um, so when people think about hiring a lawyer, they think about cost first. Cost can be really expensive, but for hiring most lawyers, it is really expensive. But hiring a personal injury lawyer, we're paid out of the settlement. So what does that mean? That means that there's no upfront cost to you, no hourly fees. It's just one lump sum settlement. Most personal injury lawyers will charge you 1/3 of the overall settlement to pay for their fees and getting you money in compensation for your injuries. There are many things that personal injury lawyers do besides just getting compensation for someone that's injured. It could be as much as walking you through the process of getting insurance coverage and helping you out find the medical treatment that you need when you're injured in a car accident that you may not think you have available to you or that you can even afford. And so part of my job is walking you through that process. Now, whether you hire me or hire someone else, I think everybody that's injured in a car accident should hire a personal injury lawyer, first of all. So cost is a big thing everybody thinks of, number one. And so I'm paid out of the settlement a third of the settlement. That may seem like a lot, but most people that are injured in car accidents, they often see a lot more money than I even see as part of my fee, and they also retain so much more of a benefit from hiring a lawyer to walk them through the whole process of what I was talking about, as well as getting good compensation for themselves. Um, Number two, court. Most people think about hiring a lawyer. I don't want to go to court. Am I going to have to sit in front of a judge? Am I going to have to, do all these things? I don't want to testify. I don't want to make this a big deal. I want to get what I deserve, and I want to get healed, but I don't want to go through all this long, drawn-out process of going to court. And for hiring a personal injury lawyer, most cases settle outside of the courtroom. And that includes, maybe we do have to file a lawsuit, but, court ultimately ends up being, 9 months to a year away in most cases. And then there's other things that can stop you from going to court as well. For instance, there's options like alternatives to court, such as arbitration hearing, which are mandatory for lawsuits filed in Washington that are valued under $50,000. And that's kind of like a mini trial type thing, but it's very informal. It's in front of an arbitrator who could be a next judge, but it's not like in a big courtroom and stuff like that. So it's a little easier. And there's also mediations that you could go to as well that could stop that. But a lot of cases even don't even make it to arbitration or mediation. A lot of cases, after you're fully healed in a car accident and you get all the medical treatment you need, whether it's through a chiropractor, massage therapist, physical therapist, or whatever, you're fully healed. I'll take all the medical records and bills, outline your case, what you've gone through, and figure out what the best value of that case is based on case law, cases that I've seen, what you've had to go through, pain, suffering, lost wages, permanent injuries, things like that. And I'll get the highest offer I can, and I'll bring it back to you, and I'll say, hey, what do you think? Do you think this is a good amount, or do you want to go forward with going to trial and try to get some more money out of them? Or, what you want to do. So it's up to you. You can either take the money and run, or you can go to trial and try to get some more money. It's just up to you what you want to do and how much you think it's worth. And I'll give you some options of what I think, what we realistically could get a trial more, or what we could do right now. So there's a lot of options there besides going to court. Another thing is people don't want to sue, the person that injured them. So it's like, I don't want to make a big deal out of this. Besides going to court, I don't want to sue someone and make them pay out of pocket. But this is number 3 in our series of 5 points I'm going to get. But to sue someone, you're not going after them personally usually. It's usually going to be 99% of the time against an insurance company that they pay the benefit for, to represent them in trial, to pay them out for in case they injure someone else in a car accident. So these are all benefits that they've already paid for, and the insurance company needs to pay you for reimbursement of what you've gone through, pain and suffering, medical bills, lost wages, etc. So it's not going against them personally, it's going against the insurance company. And a lot of people may not think that originally too, and we're not, personal injury lawyers aren't even allowed to talk about that, if we're at trial, this person who we're suing is on the other side, he's the defendant. Those big time lawyers that they hired, they didn't pay for them out of pocket. No, the insurance company is actually who's representing them. So you're not saving anybody money who caused the car accident. You're saving the big insurance companies money, who already make a ton of money on you and everyone else paying policies, premiums every 6 months or a year and stuff anyways. So it's like, why save them money when you have the money available? Make a claim, go after them, get the compensation that you need to get healed and to give you what you've lost as far as time lost that you could have been, spending going out with friends, playing with your kids, doing what you couldn't do now that you're injured and you're going to the chiropractor all the time, or you're going to a massage therapist, or you're going to physical therapy, 3-4 times a week for each of those things, and that time adds up. And the lost wages that you had, and how long you've had to go through it. And you could be treating for 3 to 6 months, maybe even longer, a year to a year and a half, sometimes even longer than that. And what's that worth? So is it worth not going after the insurance company? Is it worth saving them money? Because you're not saving the defendant money. They're not going to be responsible for paying out of pocket what's within their insurance company's premium and policy that they have with them. So that's number 3. You're not saving the defendant any money by not filing a claim or going after their insurance coverage. Number 4, healing. You need to take the time to get healed, and you need to figure out a way to get healed. And so part of my job is to walk you through the process of what we can do as far as insurance coverage to pay for all those expensive medical bills that you're going to have, whether it's going to the chiropractor, physical therapist, massage therapist, maybe you need a surgery. There's a lot of things out there and options you could have to get healed, but how do you pay for that? And part of my job is finding that insurance coverage, whether it's your own insurance, whether it's medical insurance, whether it's car insurance. But what a lot of people don't know is that you can't bill the third party's insurance right away, and they're not going to pay for your treatment as you go. It's just not going to happen like that. When the third party comes up to you, the defendant's insurance company comes up to you, they're going to ask you, hey, is your case worth $5,000, $1,000? Will you take $1,000? Most people say, hey, I'm going to take the money and run. I don't feel like I'm that injured. But then they're like, oh, wait a second, my back's feeling pretty bad. I get these sharp pains. All of a sudden, my back stiffens up. And then you don't get it healed because all of a sudden the chiropractor is, looking for you out of pocket to pay, $120 a pop for each visit, or $80 a pop per visit, and that adds up a lot. So, when the insurance company comes to you a month after after the car accident, and they're saying, hey, here's $1,000 to pay for your ambulance bill, to pay for the hospital bill, your ER bill, but here's $1,000 for pain and suffering. Some people take it, and it's kind of sad that happens, that they do take that, because it's really not what their case is worth at all, because they got to that's not even paying for their medical expenses going forward to, chiropractor, massage, physical therapist, specialists, surgeons, who knows? You want to make sure that you're fully healed, you're back to normal before we even start to even think about settling your case, because they're not going to pay for what you haven't done already in most cases. So what I mean is, like, they're not going to pay for your bills in the future unless it's like a serious case. And usually we're talking about, like, you're disabled or you're partially disabled and you need to get treatment further outside of like the surgery and stuff like that for ongoing care. And those are like the rare exceptions where they'll actually give you money to pay for your future treatment. So my job is to find the insurance coverage that you have, to pay for those treatments and give you options and stuff like that. And car insurance, PIP insurance is good for doing that, to pay you out of pocket, or med pay insurance to pay for those bills that you will have. You can also use medical insurance. Sometimes they won't pay for that unless you have an attorney representing you. And even then, it's kind of tough to push them to pay for a lot of treatment that you have, because they feel like they're not going to get paid back for it, where they are actually entitled to get paid back for, which I'll talk about more in another blog episode, and we'll go through that then. But yeah, you're not going to get any money for treatment from the third party, at least initially, in the upfront. So fourth, that's healing. Get healing, get the coverage you need, make sure you're fully healed before we even settle a case. A lot of people will take the money and run. Number five, compensation. Getting the compensation that you deserve for the injuries you've gone through. Kind of hints on the other one, number four as well. Compensation. Not a lot of people know what their cases were, so they'll take the money right away, a month after treatment, and that's not good. That's not even going to be close to compensating you what you truly deserve. Hiring a lawyer will help you, walk you through that process, and make sure you're not settling early. Make sure you're fully healed. That's our number one priority, is make sure you're getting all the treatment you need to get healed, and then we'll go from there. So what is involved in compensation law? Compensation, you're entitled to compensation for your medical bills that have been paid, or medical bills that you have accrued throughout the process of healing, as well as workers' compensation, lost wages, stuff like that. You're entitled to reimbursement for all your sick day leaves that you've had to use because of being injured in the car accident. You're entitled to pain and suffering, and which is a little vague. What pain and suffering is, it's different and depends. It varies on different cases. It's like how long you had to go through the injuries that you've had. Do you have any permanent injuries? Do you have any like scars or disfigurements? And those are a lot of things that go into it and really up the value of the case, depending on how long you've gone through that stuff. And then also lost wages, pain and suffering, medical bills, any other expenses that you've had to undergo or forego because of being injured in this car accident. So it could be like, lost job opportunities. That could be like part of lost wages as well. It could be a lost business that you've lost by running your own business. It could be, taking sick vacation days that you normally would be able to save. Those were all able to be compensatable. And you get that all from the third party, and you make sure you get that once you're fully healed. So there's a lot of things that you need to know, and you need to kind of walk through the process of, and hiring a personal injury lawyer will allow you to make sure you're getting compensated for all those things. You're getting all the insurance coverage to pay for all the medical bills that you're going to need, all the medical treatment that you're going to need, and walk you through the whole process of maximizing your case value and maximizing your healing for the future. Because if you don't go and get healed right now, sometimes those injuries can persist and get worse and become chronic in nature, and then all of a sudden you get arthritis at an early age, or something else that that you wouldn't have had if you went and got the treatment that you needed when you did and you knew about the treatment. So that's kind of our role as a personal injury lawyer, is to walk you through the whole process and decide whether it's appropriate to go to trial, whether you're going to get fully compensated for everything, whether it's not appropriate to go to trial. Maybe you don't have that good of a case and this is a good offer and you should take it, whatever we get, but making sure that you're fully healed and informed, that's the biggest priority. So, anyways, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed and found my video blog interesting, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Hope you're having a great day, and if you need a lawyer, feel free to give me a call. I give free consultations. Thank you.